Hi Stitchy friends, welcome back. Today is Sunday, October 27th, and this is Flosstube episode number 5. If you are new to this space, my name is Maggie and I'm in Northwest Arkansas, and this is a channel primarily about cross stitch, but it's also a place where I like to share other crafts and things that I'm working on. So I have a lot to share with you guys today, and I will just take you through starting with the non-stitching related things first, and then some whips and things that I'm working on that are stitching related. I have a big finish to share with you today that I'm really excited about. I actually just finished it this morning, and some haul, and maybe some Christmas plans at the end if I have some time. So just to jump right into things, we have a senior. If you have been following along with us here, I'm also on Instagram at Home on the Ridge. That's home.on.the.ridge over there. And here, obviously, I'm Homemade on the Ridge. But over on Instagram, you may have seen that this past Friday, our senior had senior night. And so leading up to Friday night, they had asked the parents to help the kids put together a senior board. And I thought, since it was crafty related, I would share that with you. Here is the board here. I'll just give you an overview of it and then kind of walk you through each section here. But I printed all of these pictures here at the house and just use just some double-sided tape to stick everything on. And I started here on the right-hand side with his baby pictures and just kind of progressed into him being a toddler, and then on down into when he actually got his black belt. Fun fact, he has a black belt in Taekwondo, and the center is all of his like graduation pictures. And then I found these letters at the at Dollar General actually, and spray painted them black and then hot glued them onto this board. This is just one of those science fair display boards. So all of the center there is just his high school like professional pictures. And then here on this side are just memories of him and his friend group all throughout his high school years. So if you are new here, he is a percussionist. He's a center snare on the drum line at his high school. He absolutely loves it. And a lot of people ask me if I am sad that he's graduating, and you know, I try not to look at it like or think about it that way, otherwise I do get sad. But he has some exciting news that he just got in like mid-October, that he got accepted into the University of Arkansas. So we're really just so beyond proud of him and excited for him to embark on that next journey. So that kind of helps keep the sad feelings away a little bit if we just keep looking forward. Certainly celebrating everything that he's gone through, all of his accomplishments that he's had in high school. He's a straight A student and on the honor roll, and you know, honor society, and he is just he's a great kid, and we're really super proud of him. In February, he is actually going to audition for the drumline, the Razorback drumline at the U of A, so keep him in your prayers. That would be a big dream come true for him. So yeah, just looking forward. That's all we can do to keep this mama from getting sad. But anyway, so I just thought you guys would like to see that. So I worked on that. While I was kind of digging around for some pictures to put on his board, I was out in the storage building and I came across something that I thought I'd share with you that's stitchy related. So my parents divorced when I was about 7, and I lost touch with my mom after that. She wasn't really a part of our lives. My dad raised me and my brother and sister by himself, And so I've only seen her a handful of times since then. We send Christmas cards back and forth, but that's really the extent of it. But I found something of hers that she had made and gifted to my oldest son, Joshua, when he was, I think he was 5 years old. She's actually stitched her name and date. It says October 2000 here. But she made this. I don't know the pattern, and I don't know the fabric, although it looks like some kind of even weave or maybe even Aida, like a small count of Aida. But this is where I must get my love for stitching from her, because no one else in my family stitches that I know of. My sister knows how, and I try to get her to stitch with me more often, but she's too busy. But yeah, I stumbled upon this, and I remembered it, and I was like, wow, I need to show that. I need to show that here on Flosstube, because it's pretty incredible. Like I said, I don't know the pattern, but she had stitched this for him. She signed here her name to Joshua, October 2000, in the bottom corner there. But yeah, it's pretty impressive. So yeah, that is where my love of stitching must come from in crafts. She's done a lot of crafty things too, embroidery. She made some blankets and things that I remember being little. So yeah, that must be where I get it from. So moving on, I will talk about, over the weekend I went to Joann's to pick up some things to finish off this this fully finished that I'm about to show you here in a minute. And they were having a 70% off sale on all of their ribbon. And I got more than a few. I got 15 rolls, and I spent $40 and saved $87. Isn't that incredible? I mean, my husband was with me, and we didn't have a cart because I knew exactly what I wanted, you know, just one little thing I wanted to run in, run out, and I saw that on an end cap and thought, you know, I need that. So I loaded his arms up, and I loaded my own arms up, and we went off to the checkout, and he was just rolling his eyes at me the whole time, but that's okay. So I will share with you what I got. So they had their decorative mesh, which is really good. I haven't actually decorated with this stuff yet. I don't know if I don't think it's wired, but it is originally $8.99, and like I said, I got it for 70% off. So the brand is Place and Time, and I think that may be the brand. All the ribbons that were on the end cap were the same brand that were on sale. But isn't this print cute? I just love the black and white, and I know I could do something with this. And then I got these, same brand, like I said, same price. It was $8.99 originally. Orange with the bats. Oh, I love it. So like I said, I've not used this mesh before, but I bet it works really well in trees and wreaths and things, because it looks like it's really good stuff. Like it's thick. And then this ribbon, just a little jack-o'-lantern ribbon, and it is wired. So yeah, I got 15 rolls total, but it was several. When you decorate with trees, like especially, you know, 9-foot trees or higher, you really want 5 to 7 rolls of the same kind of ribbon if you're going to put it all throughout the tree, just so you don't run out. So that's what I did, was just got several different of these same 3 patterns. But yeah, it was such a fun find. That was really fun. I'm excited I'll have to put it away now, but I'm definitely excited to use it next year. Let's see what else. Oh, my October daily is still going strong. So if you have seen previous videos, you know that in the month of October, I also share it on Instagram. My Instagram is home.on.the.ridge. Every day for the month of October, I add something to the memory book and I give it a number. So today's the 27th, and I'll just see what was today here. It's getting full. We're coming to the end of the month. This project is almost over. So yeah, today's was carving pumpkins. So I numbered it with today's day or story number 27. That's a picture of my husband and the pumpkin that he carved. And then these were the 4 pumpkins that we carved, lit up on the porch, on the front porch. And then turn the page. That's Jonah. That's my senior that I was talking about. He carved the Vector from Despicable Me, the villain from Despicable Me. Oops, I've got some stuff falling out here. And then that's Jacob, my youngest, and his little friend. And then my pumpkin and Jeremy's again. So yeah, and then I just have like just placeholders here for the next few days that's what's falling out of here. As we go through here, I just kind of have placeholders and things that I want to add as we go through the rest of the month. So yeah, this is getting really full. But the idea is to every day share a story, number it, and then at the end of the month, by October 31st, you have a completed album of whatever kind of stories you want to tell. I primarily focus on, fall related activities or, things that are going on this time of year, but I've been known to pull some things out from earlier in the year just because I want to add it and document it. So yeah, I love this project. And I do this again for December for a December daily project too. So looking forward to that as well. I think that might be the only non-stitchy related things that I was going to share. Oh, there's one thing. So last night we had my husband and I volunteered at our church. Every year they do a fall festival. And yesterday, normally our boys get involved too, and they'll run a booth or something, little games like you've seen the games like where you throw a fishing line out into the water and the little kids can link on like with a magnet or something and pull the duck out and then they win a prize, that kind of thing. But they were both involved in an all-day band competition here locally. So they didn't get to join us this year, but we usually always dress up. Sometimes we've done family costumes and sometimes we go out on our own. But yesterday, since it was just me and my husband, we decided to dress up as Popeye and Olive Oil. And it was funny. Here's a picture of us. It's funny because a lot of the little kids didn't know who we were. So I'm dating myself, I guess. It's sad that some of the newer generation don't remember some of those old cartoons that we grew up watching. Here's some more pictures. But I had printed these because they're going to be in one of the October daily stories here coming up before the end of the month. But those turned out really cute. It was fun. We got a lot of compliments, especially from the older generation who remembers Popeye and Olive Oil and appreciates the cartoon. My husband, Jeremy, loves Popeye. He actually calls me his olive oil. So it was pretty fitting last night for us to dress up as those characters, but that was fun. Okay, so that's everything that's non-stitching related. So I wonder I think it's going to take me a good time to kind of go through a good long little while here to go through the FFO and I want to really do it justice and just tell you guys how I finished things, where I got things and all of that. So I'll save that for last. But I will move into whips now. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to stitch because of everything else that's going on. It's a busy time of year, but throw on top of that, just, you know, our son being a senior and all the things that are going on with the band competitions and, you know, the stuff that going on at church, volunteering at church, and all of the time that I spent on this Lizzie Kate project, I just didn't have a whole lot of stitchy time since the last time I saw you. But I did pull out my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow again. I started in the center in the witch's block. And the last time I showed you this one, I didn't make a whole lot of progress, but I did pick it up, so I thought I would mention it. The last time I shared this with you, I'm stitching it on, let's see, it's on here somewhere, I believe. I have it here somewhere. Well, I'm not sure what the fabric is. I know it's Aida. I thought I had it here. Sorry, guys. Oh, here it is. I knew I had it. This is Atomic Ranch Aida, 14 count Aida in the color, is it Aslan? I don't think it's Asian. I can't read this person's handwriting, but I think it's Aslan maybe. But the last time I showed you, I had all of this, all of this done prior, but I had just stopped shy of like 2 rows into her skirt. So I finished all of the black here in her skirt. And I would like to continue to work on this through Halloween, maybe even do some Halloween night stitching. It's supposed to, we have been in such a drought here. We have not had any rain at all. And that reminds me, looking out the window, I'll talk about that in a second. We haven't had any rain at all. So wouldn't you know that when we are supposed to have rain, it's going to be on Halloween. So all of those trick-or-treaters are going to get wet, which is a shame, but that's okay. Our boys don't trick-or-treat anymore. They're old. They're, you know, too old for that. They say. I would trick-or-treat if I could. So we usually just stay home and make some little appetizers. We like to make like Halloween themed food. I like to typically do like, we call them mummy toes, which are just the little smoked sausages with the croissant dough wrapped around. We call them mummy toes. And we've had chili before, you know, just something cozy. And we watch black and white Universal monster films on the night of Halloween. So that's what we will plan to do again this year, especially with the rain. And I'm hoping to bring this out and do some stitching that night as well. And I would really, really like to finish this block. I know that's a little ambitious. I mean, I've got a lot yet to do here. I've got to finish this pumpkin and the cat and the bats, the spiders and this bat, and then swing over and do this side and all the rest of her dress and skirt. So I don't know. That's a lofty goal, you guys. But, you know, I'm going to try. So we'll see how far I can get before Halloween is over and I pack away all of the Halloween related stitching. I had the fabric on order from for my unicorn chart, the Judith Kirby charts that I've mentioned in previous videos, and it was on back order and then back order again, and then it was canceled. My order was canceled, so I never got to start that this season, and I don't know what to do about that. I might just continue to, once I settle on a fabric, because I'll have to go out and purchase a different piece of fabric now. But if I do find something, because I want to get something that looks like a stormy sky, it's like a trick-or-treat scene. I don't have the pattern here or the cover to show you, but I will show you when I start it. Yeah, I don't know, it may be a New Year's Eve start maybe or something, or like a project that I can just pick up and work on throughout the year. I don't want to rush it because it is my favorite pattern of all time, and I want to do it justice. But yeah, I'm a little bummed I didn't get to start it this Halloween season, but that's okay. Things happen. I have plenty of other things to work on, that's for sure. So if you're wondering, that's kind of an update there. I never started it. But the second WIP that I have here is a stitch along that I'm involved in, and it's called, it's by Stitchingly Stitch Alongs on Facebook. And it is, it's a murder mystery, Sal. And where did my board go? I had it here. Oh, it's right here. I'm dropping stuff everywhere. I am working on this with my friend Lacey, who is the Sleepy Stitcher here on YouTube. And she is actually a different character than I am, but we're still having a lot of fun with it. Her story is a little bit different than mine. But she and I connected for this Sal, like I said, and she is the person that's doing this, that's hosting this stitch along. When it first started, let you pick one of 3 characters. It was the lady of the house, the cook, and the chambermaid. And Lacey picked the lady of the house, and I picked the chambermaid. And so our stitched pieces are the same, but the story's a little bit different. So we are on week 4. Tomorrow starts week 5, and of 6 weeks, of a 6-week stitch along. And I don't think either one of us are even remotely close to solving the mystery at this point. But it's been really fun, trying to anyway, and finding clues in the stitching. Some of the clues are actually hidden in the stitching that you see in the pattern. And then there's a story that goes along with it each week. So we've had a lot of fun with that. But the first week we did this row of flowers, and that was in this little border here. And the clue led you to the garden. And then the second week was the best stitches. And that had some, I want to say that had some, like, the coloring was different in the pattern that you didn't stitch, that kind of led you to like a clue. What was I think mine was guilt, maybe. And then the third week are made with the 2 hearts, that row. And then this last week we did this one. And I kind of got off where my friendship was supposed to be in the center of these 2 flowers here, but I didn't notice it until I had already stitched one of the flowers, and I came over and I was about to stitch the other one, and I figured out that I was there one row, is it one row too far down? Yeah, so it should be more centered with the friendship, but I didn't think it looked that terrible, and I didn't want to pick it out. I will tell you, I'm not going to say difficult, it's just challenging. So I'm an Aida stitcher primarily. That's whenever I want to do some comfort stitching, I just gravitate towards Aida because it's just so much easier for me, for my eyes, and just to not have, if I'm counting and all of that, it's just easier for me. And I don't really care for linen. Like I've said, if you guys have watched me for any length of time, you know that I'm not really fond of linen. I like other people's finishes on linen, but for me, I just like the straight line of the stitches on Aida or even weave. So for some reason I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just go out, and I think this is actually I'll tell you in a minute with my haul. This is the Lugana, I believe. And then, so I'm like, yeah, I'll just go out and do this. This will be a great project to just really get into the, try something new. And I'm telling you what, you have to count down, and this is a lot of counting down from each row. And I think that's why I got off on the flowers, because man, I don't know. It's difficult. I'm going to keep at it, and I'm going to keep practicing because I love the way it looks on this fabric versus an Aida. it's just so pretty. I love the way my stitches are laying. It's just really pretty, but man, it's a lot. When there's a lot of counting, I get so confused. I mean, I don't know. You guys that stitch on that, tell me if you have any like tips or tricks, because I literally take my needle and I put it in a hole and I skip one and I like count, skip one, skip two, and I just count like that down, and I literally put my needle in each little hole just so I can try to stay in line in the column, and then, you know, and find the right row. I don't know. I'm probably make it harder than it needs to be, but I will keep at it because I do love the way my stitches look on this fabric. So yeah, we're having a blast with this stitch along, and we were talking the other night, and I was telling her that, well, we should do this again next year because it's been really fun. It's been a really fun thing to do during the Halloween season, stitching along with this murder mystery. Hopefully we'll figure out who did it in the next week or two. So there's that. And let's see, is that all? Some of my haul just fell off into the floor, so I'll have to go off camera to pick that up to show you guys that in a minute. But before I do that, I think I'll get into my fully finish, and I'm so proud of it, you guys. I've been telling you since the very first video that it's this Lizzie Kate Halloween Rules. And I have told you, I may have shared this in every single video because, like I said, I really have been pushing to finish these. I started this project with the very first block, Wear a Costume, in, I want to say, March of 2023. It's been like a year and a half ago. And I stitched them individually, so on their own little separate pieces of fabric. I'm stitching it on, or I stitched it on 14 count Aida Vintage Country Mocha. And I got down to about halfway before I picked it up again this year. And then I was like, I'm not going to let this sit again. It's Halloween season. I've got to get this done. So this is the one that I focused on primarily the most this month, or since the last time I talked to you. That's several videos actually. So when I last left you, I think I had stitched Greet a Ghost. So I was like all the way down to the end. I had 2 left, and I stitched those 2, Howl at the Moon and Be Spooktacular. And I finished that one, and I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna jump back up here and stitch the Halloween Rules. So if you ever stitch this, if you're not familiar, you can go online, and this border and this header here that actually says Halloween Rules, you can find that for free online. And so I went out and found it. I didn't do any of the border, obviously, because I stitched them separately, but I went out and found it, and I realized I didn't have any fabric left. So I had just gotten enough of the fabric pieces to do just these blocks, and I had forgotten to get the fabric for this. So that's why I picked the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow back up for a couple of night before I got back to this project, because I needed to stitch that Halloween Rules and didn't have the fabric. So the fine folks at 123 Stitch, I placed my order, and I think I had it the next day. They are so fast, and I love them. I don't know if I think I've told you guys this before. I'm here in Northwest Arkansas, and we don't have any stitching stores close to me. The nearest one is I want to say almost 2 hours north in Branson, which is where my haul came from, that I'll share with you in a little bit. And the other one is in Tulsa, the Silver Needle. So yeah, it's a trek to get to go, and it's such a treat when I do get to go, because I don't get to shop in person very often. So yeah, so I ordered that, and when it came back in, I just hurried up and stitched it. I think I stitched it in a night, and like 2 nights. So I finished it, finished all the stitching, and then it was time to start working on the FFO. So I'm gonna share, I'll share it with you here, and then I'll pause the video and share some video that I add in here of it actually hanging in my space. So this is one of the banners of two. So there's two sections, and you'll see that in the next video. But just really quickly, here's that. And I'll pause here and show you the rest of that video. So what did y'all think? Did you like it? I'm tickled with how it came out. I am absolutely thrilled with it. And I had my doubts. I didn't really know the direction I was going as I was going along. I was sharing with it with you guys on Instagram. I think I mentioned my channel name, Home on the Ridge, over there. I was sharing in stories, and a few of you reached out and were like, I don't really know where you're going with this. And at the time, I didn't know either. I was just kind of winging it. And this is the outcome, and I am so thrilled with it. So I'm going to walk you through very slowly and step by step of how I made it, in case anybody wants to replicate it or, you know, just use it for inspiration. I know a lot of you are curious about it. So I'll start with, let me start with this center block here. So like I said, I finished the stitching, and I have some of those scissors. They have a name and it just escaped me, you know, that cut and it does the zigzag. So I cut along each of the stitched pieces with those zigzag, they're not shears. I'm sorry, I don't know what they're called. But I used the middle one as the guide for how wide I wanted to cut all of them, because I wanted them to look similar. And this one is obviously the widest and the longest, well, maybe not longest, but definitely the widest, it being the title. And I knew it was going to go in the center. So I cut this one first, and then I used it as a guide, like I said, to cut the others. So once that piece was done, I got some like thin quilt backing and some spray adhesive, and I just added that behind the stitched pieces, just to give it some like padding. And then I went to Lowe's and I got a sheet of plywood, and I again started with this the Halloween rules and to use as a guide. And I laid this down on the plywood and just kind of traced around, or just kind of sketched out the shape of the banner of how I wanted the banner to be onto the plywood. Actually, I did it with a piece of paper. And once I got the size and knew that this Halloween rules would fit, then I knew the rest of them would fit, because this one was the bigger one. So I came up with this. It kind of looks like a home plate. That's what my husband said. It looks like a home plate. But, you know, I said yes, and it also looks like a banner. So that's what we're going with. So I had that piece of paper cut out, and then I laid it down on top of the plywood. It was a solid sheet of plywood from Lowe's, and just traced it out. And then I took, once I had, there are 13 total blocks as part of this pattern, and once I had those all laid out or traced, so there were 13 traced banner pieces, I used my husband's jigsaw to cut them out. And I'm pretty handy with his, I'm not handy with a lot of his tools out there in his shop, in his workshop. If you're new here, he does a lot of woodworking and stuff, so he has a lot of just a lot of tools and machines and stuff out there that help him with the cutting wood. But because I made the peanuts, which I forgot to talk about that a while ago. I'm all over the place, y'all. I'll get back to that. So because I did that, made the peanuts, the Halloween display out of plywood years prior, I got really good at using his, the skill saw. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the skill saw. So I cut them all out myself, and then I had some sandpaper, and I sanded them. I sanded all the edges down, and then just kind of did a light sand on the fronts and also the backs, and then around all the edges. And once those were sanded, I brought them into the house, and I laid out some wax paper on our bar area, on our island in the kitchen, and I laid them all out, and I just got some craft paint. And actually I have it right here. I can show you. Hang on just one second. Right here. It's this apple barrel acrylic paint in black. That's what I used. And I painted both the edges and both front and the back with 2 coats. And I think the front actually got 3 coats. So I would just paint one, let it dry, flip them all over, paint them all again, let them dry, just kind of a process. And then I took some spray here. Let me grab it. It's called Crystal Clear Acrylic Coating, and I got this one because it's non-yellowing, so I just wanted to make sure that it wouldn't yellow over time. I got this from Hobby Lobby. So once all the painting was done, I sprayed all of the banner pieces with this. And then what else? These little the little wooden pieces that are on there. I found these on Etsy. They're just like little wooden blocks. I didn't use any of these words, but these are some extra ones that were in the package. I ordered 2 packages so that I knew that I would have enough. And I actually, if you were following along on Instagram, I actually painted these various colors when I first started out, and then I went to bed and slept on it and woke up the next morning and was like, I want to make those white. So I got some white spray paint and I spray painted all over. They were all different colors, and I spray painted them all white again. Over top. I just changed my mind completely. So if you are interested in where I got these, here's the shop information. Hopefully that will give you the information that you need, but it just comes in a pack like this. And like I said, I ordered 2 packs. And so I spray painted them white. And then at that point, I got the black pieces each of the banner pieces were finished, and I was ready to start assembling everything. So I took one at a time, and I took the piece of fabric with the the quilt batting behind it. That was already put together. And on the back, you can kind of see how I attached them in this light. So I just literally wrapped that stitching around and hot glued it here on the back on both sides. And then, so for this one, that's all I had to do before it was finished. On these other ones, all the other blocks, I thought that they needed a little bit, you know, because I had to make them all the same size to match the Halloween rules in the center. They were there was kind of a lot of dead space up on the top and the bottom. So I decided to add black rickrack to those, and I just really love how that turned out. And then obviously with the white charms here too. So on the middle one, the Halloween rules, I just wrapped the fabric around, and then I got these purple, I got these from Amazon. I'll link all of this stuff in the description box for you if you're interested, but I got a package of this purple felt, and this is actually like sticker paper, but it's felt. So you just peel the backing off, and this is super sticky, just to finish off the back, and also to help, you know, reinforce that so that doesn't ever try to lift or come off. But before I did that on these, I added, in the same way that I folded the fabric around, I did the same thing with the rickrack. And then I just cut out that, I used that same template that I used to make these banner pieces out of the plywood, and I cut into it a little bit so that it would inset a little bit on the back. And then I just peeled those felt stickers off and put them right on the back. And that was my dog, she's sleeping. And so then I used this string here. Oh, before I sealed them, I forgot this step. Before I sealed them, my husband actually helped me drill these some little holes, a hole here and a hole here in each one. Before that was before I sealed them. So then when it was after I had assembled everything, I got this. This is like cotton cording that I got from Hobby Lobby. And that's what I'm using to actually hang it up on my hutch. So yeah, like I said, I absolutely love how this turned out. This is probably, I'm not going to say favorite, because I really like the haunted house finish that I did, and some of the other Halloween pieces that I've done, but this is definitely the most labor intensive finish. Like I said, this is, as you saw in the video, this is just one of 2 banners that I made. There were so many, and for them to hang on my hutch, I had to break them up and do 2 rows. So this is the top row. It has 5 blocks, including the header, and then the second one has 8 for a total of 13. So you guys will have to let me know what you think. If you have any questions, if I left anything out at all. I did hot glue the pieces on, the little white pieces, I hot glued those on. But if I left anything out that you have any questions about, I'm happy to answer them. I try to get back to everybody who leaves a comment, and I appreciate the comments so much. So please let me know what you think. And like I said, ask me anything if you have any questions, and I will get back to you. But yeah, that's my exciting finish, my exciting FFO for the month. So happy that is not only crossed off the list, but I'm just thrilled with how it turned out, and I'm looking forward now to moving on to other projects and maybe getting some more stitchy time in now that one's over with. I forgot to mention, this is the rickrack that I used. It's also from Hobby Lobby, just in their fabric section. So that was the big one. That was the big finish. So I have brought up a couple of times about the the Halloween displays that we have out in the front with the peanuts that we made out of plywood. I'll insert some video here of that because that wasn't part, I didn't include that as part of the indoor Halloween tour. If you missed it, I did film a full Halloween tour and just labeled it as I called it a Flosstube extra. So it's out there if you missed it and want to check that out. But I didn't include the peanuts, so I want to include that here and just show you how we have the outside decorated. So I hope you enjoyed that. We put a lot of work into the Peanuts yard art display. Like I said earlier, we in previous videos, actually the first video, I think I shared the Lucy bobbing for apples scene. We just finished that one this summer, and the pumpkin arch over our front doors, that is a project that we did the year before last, I believe. So lots of homemade things, which make, you know, things just that much more special when you make them yourself. So we've been enjoying that this season, seeing that out in the yard. And then, like I said, if you missed our indoor Halloween tour, check that out. I'll link it below. That's fun too. You can see the Disney villain trees that I have, that I've collected over the years, and our little Mickey Not So Scary Halloween Village. We've really enjoyed having that stuff out this season. It's crazy that in about 5 days, it'll be time to put all that stuff away. October flew by. Do you guys feel that way too? I tell you, September flew by, and then October just flew by right along with it. And it kind of makes me sad because I really do love this time of year, but it also makes me very excited about Christmas too. Which, speaking of Christmas, I do have I've been thinking about what I want to do for just Stitchy related for the month of December. So I will share a couple of things that I've been kind of thinking about. Before I get into that and before I forget, I also mentioned in previous videos about Jonah's, I've shared some of his paintings and things in previous videos, and also said that if he would be willing to do a tour of his workspace area. He has just to kind of give you a lay of the land. So my husband has the workshop out there, like catty corner from our house, and I can't remember the size of it. It's a large building, like a 50 by 40 or 50 by 60 something, I don't know. It's a large building. In the back of that building, we have we walled it off, and then one side and halved it, so it made 2 long rooms. On one side is my seasonal storage, so all of the peanuts that you saw in the yard and the trees and the decorations and things, tubs. We have I have like a storage unit on one side. So we have warehouse racks lining the walls of that storage space for tubs, and then I have nails, huge nails that are in the walls there that I hang all my seasonal wreaths. The peanuts are actually, they just kind of lay on top of each other and they slide into a corner. So yeah, I love that, having that space. We don't have hardly any storage space here in the house at all, so I'm extremely thankful, with as much decorating and stuff that I do, to have that space. But on the opposite end of my husband's building, in that back corner, or the other back corner, is home to my son Jonah's workspace area, where he does all of his crafting. So it's his craft room or craft space. And I had asked if you guys would be willing to, or if you guys would want to see what he's been working on, and if he'd be willing to film it, I would share that with you. So I have a surprise, and we filmed that earlier this afternoon. So he's going to make a surprise appearance, and I'll share 2 videos with you. The first one is just a tour of his space, and then the second one is some things that he's made that you guys haven't seen yet. So hopefully you enjoy that.
All right, well, here's my little workshop area I put together / state-of-the-art home gym on the other side of the room. Very, very state-of-the-art. So right here I've got my main work table. This is where I'll cut little bits and bob out with my knives and stuff. I do some stitching over here, dyeing on different mats that I have. I'll also draw some stuff over here that I need to, and then here's my stitching pony that I'll hook up to clamp things and stitch it up the top. Here's my shelf. So I've got some random things like saddle soap that cleans the leather up. I've got my airbrush kit that I got from Walmart up here. I've got this as well recently for figuring out stitching colors and sizes and stuff. Buckle Guy, they're really good if you're into this sort of thing. Below that I've got all of my stamps for patterning different things. I've got knives, more knives. Here's a swivel knife for carving and etching details. I've got edge finishers, my awls right here, random drawing things, and glue applicators and stuff. Here's my thread that I'm currently using. I probably need to get some more, but I'll just sit right there. Some glass for burnishing like the flesh side of leather to make it smooth. Right here I've got a little kit, so I keep fabric, stitching supplies right there. I've got leather stitching, so those are my chisels, some scissors, and a groover. I've got my punches, so those cut circular and oblique holes. And then this one has some setters and some more patterns in there, so that's like an extra thing. There, I've got a leather burner in here. That's for designing different things, kind of like drawing on the leather, just like you would with wood. Some lighters that I use. Up top, there's some more things like this lighter that I use quite a bit, and I made a case for. Yeah, just random bits and bobs. I've got clamps right there. Down here I've got some books, patterns, and journals that I keep for different drawings. The better ones I display up here, you can see. I've also got some movies and a DVD player when I get bored because there's no internet in here. Yeah, that top one was a little dabble in architecture I did a long time ago. But there's that, and then down here I've got, these are my high-end leathers that have already been dyed and finished. I've also got some different swatches and stuff. And so I keep this down there, different pieces and scraps. That's where that goes. And then right below it, I've got leather dyes, glue, mink oil, different finishes and stuff for dyeing and things to make sure they don't spill out onto the floor, which is what this rubber mat's for. Yeah, that's what's in there. And then, let's see, I think that's it. So this is my big cutting table. So when I get new leather, I have to roll it out. It's really long and big. And then, let's see, I think that's for that. And then down here I've got my leather. That's where I keep it out of the light because it can change the color and make it like pink. So that kind of keeps it out of the way. More scraps down here that I don't necessarily care about at the moment, but may need them later. In this box, that I have reused from Christmas one year, I have rabbit skins that I keep out of the light, out of the way. They're pretty delicate, but yeah, if I ever need it, I just found it on sale, so figure I might as well get it. So that is more scraps down there, some finished leathers that aren't as high quality as those ones, and I've got this old toolbox just sitting here if I ever need it. Over here is where I used to do my painting stuff. I've still got that shelf set up from when I made the move over to this side of the room. But right now it's just sitting there until I decided to start that up again. Right here is my punching table. This is where I hammer a lot. I used to have like big problems on this one with noise. It's very loud. But so with this, it's pretty quiet, stable. Me and my dad worked on this table actually, so we were able to put it together ourselves. I've got my hammers, maul. This I have to keep inside, so this is where I keep all my glue, some better leather dye, and finishers. Because out here I used to have problems with like glue freezing, so I have to keep it in this box and then take it into the house, keep it from freezing and being useless. But that's where that is, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I've got a thermometer thing over there that checks humidity, because it can't be too humid in there or the leather will start to decay and stuff. It gets pretty bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the workshop side of things. The things I made, this was like one of my earlier projects. This was a leather quiver that I made, and all this stuff is on YouTube, so if you've seen the guy who made this one, you probably know where I got it from. But this is a sort of like, I don't know, it's just a slim body quiver that like hugs your body with that curved design. I put a pouch on it. It's kind of weird looking because I was new to dyeing things, but it worked all right. And I still had some issues with like leather thickness and stuff, but yeah. And then that's also where I started to learn how to put patterns in leather to kind of add designs and motifs to it. You can see with those leaves. And then more recently, I think like a year or 2 years ago, I made this quiver as a improvement to this one. And so this one is, instead of being a back quiver, this one's a hip quiver that hangs from your shoulder. And so I patterned it with this basket weave type stamp. And I was able to cut this deer-shaped hole into it and then glue some thinner, like goatskin leather in there. Dyed that pretty green color. And then there's the leaf motif from that last quiver that I still had left over. put that in there, some crosses. I also figured out how to do this sort of lacing, and that's mostly what's keeping this thing together besides glue. I also put some rivets in there, I forgot to mention. Up here, this is where I keep my hardware, most of it. Rivets, snaps, I have some carabiners in here, keychains. And then over here, this little press from probably Japan is where I set things. You can put it in there like a drill and then just stomp it and it'll set things into leather. But yeah, so that's how I was able to get these things together. A lot cleaner dye job. I used a deep mahogany dye to get this really rich brownish red color. This handle probably could have been better, but black stitching. So that's where I use that groover, and that kind of like sets the stitching inside there so it doesn't rub on anything and it makes it last longer. And I made this strap as well with thicker leather this time, so I had improved upon that one. But yeah, so that's that quiver, and then some wearable things. This is a hat I made with a pattern I got online. A lot better dye job than that quiver was with that same, I think, rich mahogany color. Overall, it's not bad. The underside could have been lined because it's kind of messy. And I think I probably should have used a thinner leather for this lining on the edge, but overall it wasn't bad. Just kind of practicing my stitching and cutting and stuff. Very recently, probably like last year, I made this helmet. And this had no stitching at all. This was all rivets and some lacing on the side. But this was the same guy who I got that made that quiver that I originally made. He made a helmet like this, and I improved on it with these kind of like face guard panels and different things. But yeah, that's where I learned like how to do like borders and different patterns and designs and stuff. And then I also did some more lacing for the side.
Can I show your bow?
Oh yeah. So this was the first bow. I think you guys have seen that before, that I made. It was made from a board we got from, I think it was Lowe's. And so all we did was we cut it down. We glued this back part to elevate the handle, and then we glued some deer hide to the back of it, and that's called bow backing, and that basically increases its strength, because I wasn't sure if this bow was going to break or not, honestly. But I didn't really shape the handle. I just kind of left it cubed, so it's kind of rough to hold, but this was a long time ago. I kind of lost the string. I don't know where it went. I could have strung it, but it still bends, still works. It's kind of rough shooting, but for my first bow, it was pretty good. I also cut in that arrow shelf, which probably was too much for it, but oh well. And then after that, I decided to turn to more natural bows. So this I carved from a stave. It looked a lot like this. And so this is Osage wood that I got from a relative, and they gave me some of that I got to experiment with. And so using a draw knife, which I might have around here somewhere, I was able to carve this out. And it worked pretty well. I was able to get some good string grooves in there. Stringing up the handle was better. I didn't get to shape it. But yeah, for the first time, like carving it out, it was pretty well done. I was able to do these recurve tips as well. For overall strength, it probably wouldn't last very long. I think when we finally strung it up, we realized it wasn't straight from tip to tip, and so it wouldn't have really shot very well. But I just keep it around in here, look at it from now and then. But that's that stuff. More recently, I've been doing a lot of wallet making. Those I keep right here, this old shoebox. And you've seen some of these before. So let's see, what was the first one? I think this one was the first one. That one was. I've shown this before. I went and did design after design until I found one that I was happy with and one that I actually use. This is my wallet that I use right now. Yeah, based off of these designs that I liked. But yeah, it's served me well thus far, and I'm still making them. Trying to experiment with different colors and things and come up with ways I can improve it. But yeah, that's it for those. I think. Here's another work in progress. This is a sort of display for my sticks and drumline for high school. And so these were my very first sticks in 9th grade, and then these are 10th grade. These are 12, and I have another pair for 11th last year that I can put on there. Yeah, I've been collecting them, trying to figure out how I can display them. So I've spent so much time doing it. But yeah, that's it, I think. There's, oh yeah, my art stuff. So there's one of my better paintings that I just had laying around in here, so I figured I'd hang it up. I've got more canvases down there. There's another one over there in that corner where I still have, I think I've said this before, but I still have those Bob Ross supplies that are just sitting there. This is my art table, so I have all my brushes and things in here, knives, different things for painting. It's kind of messy, but paper, yeah, just random stuff. This is my brother's toolbox. It's just toy box that's just sitting there. Yeah, I might paint again. I used to do it in this corner. There's kind of an issue with fumes because these things are very not good to breathe in. And it was like mineral spirits that like disintegrate the paint off of your brushes and things that I had to use, and that was very not good to breathe. So it was always kind of tough trying to paint out here because I have to move outside, and it took a long time to clean things up. But I might do it again if I get time. So have to see. But yeah, that's my stuff. All this is a collection of about 4 years finding random bits and bobs and putting things together, finding what works, getting rid of everything that doesn't. Yeah.
Isn't it incredible what he's done? He is so talented, and I'm really happy that he decided to let me film him in his space. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that. You'll have to let me know in the comments, give him some love, and let me know what you thought so that I can share that with him. Let's see. So now I have two things left, I think, that I haven't shared yet. One is haul, a little bit of haul, and the other is kind of like just my preliminary Christmas plans, or December, the month of December plans. So let me go into haul first. So a few weekends ago, my husband and I had the opportunity to go up to Branson, Missouri, and just the two of us. The boys, I think, had a band. No, they were at church camp that weekend. They went to church camp for the weekend, and so my husband and I had a weekend to ourselves, and so we went up to Branson and did a little shopping, and we went to Silver City, and while anytime we go up there and have that opportunity, I like to stop by Cecilia's Samplers. Is that what it's called? I think so. Yeah, Cecilia's Samplers, because as you guys know, I don't have an LNS here, and so anytime I get to go up there, I love to really just look at the fabrics, because it's hard to pick that stuff out online sometimes. I really like to feel it and just see it in person, look at the modeling and stuff in person. I'm sure you guys can all relate to that. So I got some fabric. And it's not cheap, but you know, I'm not up there very often. So, I mean, I just got like 5 or 6 pieces here. It's not that bad, not that big of a deal. But this first piece, this is what, it's actually in 2 pieces now, because it's what I'm stitching the Victorian Murder Mystery Sow on. So this is Lugana 32 count graham, and the color is graham cracker. And I got a fat half of this because I just like the neutral, and it almost looks like it has like stains on it, which I really liked. It's just how it came out in the dyeing process, but it's a nice neutral. And I thought I don't know what else I'll stitch on this, but I'm sure I can find something. Something to stitch on that. And like I said, it's hopefully not something that has a lot of counting, because that is really tricky for me right now. So there's that. So that's 32 count. And I just kind of got a mix of 28 and 32. I have some Aida already, but I really wanted to kind of focus on just like some of this other like Luganas and things that I didn't have any in my stash. So this is Lugana 28 count. It's Garibaldi. I know I'm saying that wrong. That sounds wrong. But the color is Sunburst, and it's 28 count. Yeah, it's Lugana. 28 count Lugana. Isn't that gorgeous? That modeling is just beautiful. And I love how bright and vivid it is. It just reminded me of, you know, something Halloween that I could put on it, or even fall. So I'm happy to add that to my stash. And then this one's beautiful too. This is Seraphim Lugana 28 count, and the color is Fool's Gold. Isn't that beautiful? This is definitely something that I would probably stitch something fall related on. So pretty, or even Halloween, but I think when I saw it, I was thinking maybe I could find something fall to stitch on it. I love that modeling. It's so pretty. So there's that one. And then two more. This one is okay, this fell off in the floor a little while ago, so I might have got this mixed up, but I don't think so. Sorry. This is Lugana in the color Pomona, I think. I'm gonna assume that it's Pomona. My things got mixed up. But this is 32 count Lugana. Isn't that such a gorgeous purple? Oh, I love purple so much. It's my favorite color. Look at that modeling. So pretty. No clue what I'm going to stitch on this, but I'll find something. Maybe even something Halloween or spring. Easter would be pretty. I love purple. So there's that one. That's 32 count. And the last one is this beautiful, I think this was the Joylyn is the color. It's Lugana 28 count. Look at this, you guys. It's gorgeous. I've never stitched on a red fabric, but I can't wait to find something to stitch on this with. It is so pretty. Maybe even something like monochromatic, like all white or something even. So pretty. So yeah, there's that. I should have, at the time, I didn't know that the fabric for that Stormy fabric that I had ordered, that was on back order for the Judith Kirby patterns, I didn't know that wasn't coming yet, or I would have looked for fabric for that. And I'm kicking myself that I didn't just go ahead and just buy an extra piece. I didn't, and obviously none of these would go with that, but I should have, because I'm kicking myself for that now. Because it's not very often I get to get up there in person and look at those fabrics, but I'm excited for the ones that I did pick out. I also picked out this year's Halloween cross stitch magazine. I love looking through this. It's always a fun one. This is what got me started back on cross stitch several years ago. 2020, 2021, whenever I did that, the jack-o'-lantern piece that I've shown a couple of times. It came out of one of these magazines, and ever since then I've just liked picking these up at Halloween. They're fun to look at. And then for no particular reason, I just got three patterns. This one is Teresa Kogut, and it is called the Silo Witches Quaker. I mean, this would be really pretty with this orange too, or even this one. Look at me getting all these mixed up now, grabbing them. Or this one, that would be pretty. I like that. I could stitch this and then do all black. I think it's gonna happen. So I don't know when, probably not this year, because like I said, I'm kind of getting out of my Halloween era and I'm moving into Christmas, but this is a fun one. This will be a fun one. You could even like break these up and stitch these little individually and, you know, make little ornaments for a tree or something. That is one thing that I would like to do eventually, is stitch some Halloween ornaments. I don't know where I'd put them, but I'd find somewhere, I'm sure. The next one, so I have just about every Prairie Schooler Halloween pattern that's out there. I didn't have this one. So I had to add it to my collection when I saw it. This is Pumpkin Patch, Prairie Schooler, number 140. Prairie Schooler Halloween patterns are just classic. That's my dog again. She's groaning because she doesn't want to be in here with me anymore. I make her stay in here, otherwise she sees dogs and neighbors and she would just be barking and carrying on in there and disturbing the video. So I made her come in here with me and she's not happy. But yeah, I mean, just classic Halloween. Love Prairie Schooler for Halloween. Love, love, love. So I got that one. And then just random, I saw this one. I was like, well, that is cute for 4th of July. This is Little House Needleworks, Coming to America. Isn't that cute? I love it. I think they also do the pattern I want to say I got last summer. I think it's called Take Me Out to the Ball Game, where it's like a ball game theme. I want to stitch that one too, but this one kind of reminds me of that with the people and just display it during the summertime. I love this one. It's just awesome. Americana stuff is just awesome. Between Americana stitching in July and Halloween and Christmas, those are my 3 favorite themes or occasions or whatever you want to call it. That's my favorite type of stitching to do. So leave me a note down in the comments and let me know what your favorite type of stitching is. So yeah, maybe I'll start that one this summer sometime. So that leads me to the very last thing that I'll share. And I don't want to go into too much detail about it because it can be a whole other video in and of itself, just my Christmas plans. But I did want to just kind of talk about it because a few of you reached out to me on Instagram and asked me what my plans are. And you may be interested in following along or participating in doing something similar. But kind of what I was thinking is, if I remember correctly, there are 5 Sundays in December, and I am thinking about doing a new start, 5 new starts in the month of December. So, and starting them on Sunday. So each Sunday in December, having a new start, and I'll come up with a hashtag. We can do a Sal, and you guys can stitch along with me, or pick something similar and do something similar, and just have a new start every Sunday as well, and then we can just share. Sorry about that, I got cut off. But we could share our progress on Instagram with the hashtag, and I'll share that next time. But here are my kind of thoughts around what I want to stitch. So I have, you guys saw in my in previous videos where I decorated the top of our TV cabinet with some of my prior finishes for Halloween and some of my new finishes. I would like to do something similar for Christmas and have a Santa theme. So I love decorating with Santa and his reindeer for Christmas. Santa has a special place in my heart. And I don't really have, I have one finish with Santa, fully finished, and I'll share that with you in the next video. So you'll have to come back to see that fully finished. But I would like to do more, have more, and just have kind of like my Halloween one where I just have, you know, that whole area just full of just previous finishes that are specifically Santa or reindeer related. And so I went through my stash and started to pull out some things with Santa in them, and I thought I would share those with you of kind of what I'm thinking. So if any of you want to stitch any of these, you know, you have the time to find them and gather your supplies like along with me, because none of these are kitted up yet, but I'm going to kit them up and start them. I don't even know if I have 5 here yet, but like I said, this is like really early plans. But I will just share the ones that I have kind of set aside and I'm thinking about. This one is in French. Let me think. Can I even tell you what this is? I may just have to show it to you. I don't even know, guys. I'm sorry. It's in French. I want to say I may have gotten this on 123 Stitch. It says copyright TOURNICOTON. Torin Cotton 2009. But this is the pattern. I do not speak French, so it's J Arrive. I don't know. There's the designer name, and here's the pattern. Isn't that so fun? So I want to stitch a bunch of Santa patterns that are, you know, fun and nonsensical. But I'm definitely going to stitch this one. So if you guys want to track this one down, I'll try to remember where I got it, and I'll put that information in the description box below. I either got it off 123 Stitch or Etsy. So I'll figure out what that is and I'll put it in the description box for you. But it is so cute. I love it. And I think I might make all of the deers, their noses black except for the first one, and make his red. So this is definitely one that I'm going to stitch. The next one, I think I must have like a thing for Madame Chantilly because I have a lot of her patterns. She is one of my favorite designers. But and I think I do like the whimsical thing. I think that's why I'm drawn to her patterns. But here's another one. Again, it's just silly and unique. You don't see things like this very often, but this is again, it's in French, and I don't know what it is, but I'll show it to you. So Madame Chantilly is the designer, and it's Santa with a rope or a ribbon tied down to Rudolph and lowering him down from a hot air balloon. And it's so silly, but I just love it. It's so cute. I mean, look at that Santa. Adorable. I'm definitely going to stitch this one. Here's the name of that pattern if you can make that out. I'm sorry, I don't speak French and I am not even going to try. I want to say I got all of these Madame Chantilly patterns from her website. And they came, I want to say they came in from Italy. So they came overseas. But that's one. That's one of hers. Definitely gonna, so that's two. That's two. This is Santa's Coffee Break by Madame Chantilly. Again, it's fun and whimsical and silly. And it's literally Santa and a reindeer. And again, I'll probably make, is it red? His nose may already be red. If it's not, I'll make it red. So it'll be Rudolph sitting up there with them, having their little lunch break. So here's the pattern information, or coffee break, not lunch break. Just sitting in a little tree, having a little snack, having their coffee. So cute. I love it. So that's number 3. I might actually decide these right on live on camera with you guys today if I have 5 here. I didn't even look to, I didn't count before I started filming here. 3, 5, I may have 6 here, so I may have to narrow it down and tell you for sure. So the next one, this one, I'm not, this is, I love this one, and I will stitch this one. I just don't know if I will stitch it as part of the 5 in December that I want to do, but this is called December Snapshot by Sandra Workman. And I just love the Santa and the stockings. I guess this is a series, a monthly series that you can get for each of the months. I've seen the Thanksgiving, like the November one is really cute. The October one is really cute. Pam from Just Keep Stitching has been stitching these, and this is where I saw that from her. She's stitched this one up already, and I think she's working through all of them, but it's just so cute. So that one might be, this is a contender, not a for sure, but it's a contender. And then the next one, which is also a contender, not for sure yet, is called North Pole Party Pics by Bent Creek. It's their photo booth series. So it's like, have you seen those booths that you get in and take pictures and you do little, like several different silly poses, and then it spits out like this long piece of film with your pictures in a row? That's kind of the idea with these, if you haven't seen these before. So it's got the elf and a reindeer and Santa, and then with each frame, they're just doing something silly. So this one I think will definitely be a contender. Probably this would be number 4. I think this will be number 4 because I have all of these in this series, and I'll show them to you. I had an idea to just finish these out and in such a way where I could pull them off and rotate them out. And I'll just, now that I'm showing you the one for the Christmas, I'll just share the others with you. These are in no particular order. This one is Easter Surprise. Really cute. Just whimsical. I really like whimsical things. This one is the Pilgrim Pals. So cute, that turkey. This one is Love Happens. And they all come with buttons, little buttons that you can sew on. This one is called Snowmen. So it would be one like for January. So cute. Very cute. This one is called Frank and Boo. I don't know why I didn't stitch. Well, yes, I do know why. I'll tell you, you guys, I have all these lofty plans and all this stuff, and then time just gets away from me, and I just don't have time to do everything that I want to do in a season. But this would have been fun if I could have pulled it off and stitched this one this Halloween season. I am thankful. I'm not complaining. I'm so incredibly thankful that I got the Halloween Rules Lizzie Kate done. So I'm not complaining. This one is Irish Luck to You. So for March. They stitched it on the model on this gold, looks like gold shimmery fabric. I wouldn't do that, but it's cute. And I think that's it. Yeah, because the other one's for December. Now I don't know if this is all of them in the series. I want to say it is. I could be missing one or two, but I found all of these at my at my LNS. I don't really have one, I guess. At the one in Tulsa, the Silver Needle, and I picked those up like last summer or the summer before, and just have been hanging on to them and haven't stitched them. So I think the photo booth, the North Pole photo booth, will be number 4 in no particular order of what I've made the decision. I'm gonna stitch that one because it seems like it might be finished. I may even get a finish out of that one in the month. I have 2 others that I'll share. Well, 3. I'll just go ahead and show you this one. This is the Madame Chantilly. Also, this is the one that I have framed and finished. It's fully finished. I'll share the finish with you next time. But this is another one that I really love. And I might actually gift this one to my son and his family this year. So I may restitch it myself on it like a smaller count. I stitched it on 14 count. So it's fairly big. But I might stitch it on something smaller just to kind of go with the idea that I had to like really pack the top of my TV cabinet with all the Santa stitches. So I may stitch this again. So that's why I pulled it out as a contender, because I think I want to stitch it again. I just love Madame Chantilly. Her stuff is just awesome. The other one that I kind of had my eye on, and I haven't decided on this one, it's by Cosford Rise Stitchery, Happy Christmas to All. I'm sure you guys have seen this one. I just love the little town. That's a ton of white stitching there. But I loved the Santa and reindeer flying overhead, and the moon and the snow. So this one's definitely a contender. I have to think about that one some more. And then finally, this one here, also Madame Chantilly. This one is called I'm going to butcher this, In Retard. Is that how you say that? In retard. It means, I think it means I'm late or something in French. Correct me if I'm wrong, but see, this is the little reindeer here, and he's late. So he's chasing after Santa's sleigh. But Santa is flying overhead over the little village. She has a Halloween version of this too. I don't have that pattern, but it's really cute. I may get it at some point and stitch it as well. But I love this one. And I actually started this one, and I'll show it to you. I'm going to UFO this one though, guys, because this is the project where I learned that I do not like linen. So I started it on, I got it, I ordered all the called for, not knowing any better, but I didn't know any different. I didn't know what my preferences were at the time I started this. And so I just ordered what was called for and gave it a shot. I really did give it my best effort here. And I got this far. And I mean, my stitches look okay. I don't think it's not that I can't stitch on it. It's just not very enjoyable. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it to where it's not. Here, let's do this. Not so wrinkly. This has been wadded up in a drawer because I was gonna just throw it away, and then I thought I would show you before I threw it. This is actually, I have a sticker here. It's Pearl Belfast linen. I got it from 123 Stitch. And it's the called for. I want to say it's the called for. And I am stitching, I have all of the threads, the called for threads. But see, my stitching looks okay. I can't get over, like, you see how, like, the way the fire is, like, you have these little places that stick out. I just don't like that. I'm not in love with that. And I guess it's, see that? It just, to me, that looks messy. Like a cat just ran their nails along it or something. I don't know. I just can't get past it. I don't know. I wanted to like it. I know it has more of a prim feel. A lot of people stitch it because of the prim feel. I'm not really a prim primitive person. I love it in other people's homes and I love to see it, but that's not my style. That's not my style or how I decorate. But yeah, so I love this pattern so much that I'm going to start over. I don't know when I'm gonna stitch it on yet. It will probably be an Aida, because I think, there's gonna be a lot of counting, to move over between house and house, and then also up here, there'll be a lot of counting, and I know I'll probably struggle with that if I tried to, stitch it on a Lugana or something. So I think I'll find a comparable Aida in this color scheme, in this color family. But yeah, so this is definitely one that I want to get back to and stitch because I love this one. So is that number 5? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so these are extras. So this is 5, this is 6 and 7. So I definitely will have to go through, I'll have to go through and narrow it down to 5 if I'm gonna do the Sunday thing. So let me know what you guys would like to see me stitch. And if you wanna stitch along with me and have a new start, even if you don't, I know some people aren't Santa stitchers, and that's okay. Some people like to do snowmen or, other things, nativity related things. But if you want to follow along with me and do like a new start Sunday, I came up with a tag, hashtag earlier today. What was it? I don't know. I can't remember now. It was like holly jolly. Sunday start, holly jolly, something like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out, and I'll share all of those details with you in the next video. I will narrow these down to 5. It's going to be hard because I really like all of these. And then I'm going to be working to kit them up. So then my plans now going forward are those for the rest of the year. So I'm going to try to film 2 more. I'm going to do 2 Flosstubes in November and 2 Flosstubes in December. That's the plan. So those videos will include just sharing and then a Flosstube extra, because I want to show you, do like a tour of the house for once everything's decorated for Christmas. But I want to include a how-to. I do my ribbons, like I talked about last time with my ribbons, how I do my trees and stuff. That may be a Flosstube extra too. I don't know. Do you guys like Flosstube extras? I don't know. I can call it Flosstube extra, or I can incorporate it in here like I did today, where I kind of insert different clips and videos and things inside the episode itself. Let me know your preference. So I want to include a house tour for Christmas. I want to include the bows. I want to do a couple of videos in November, just kind of talking about my Christmas plans for crafts and stitching related. So December daily, I have a plan for that. I can show you my supplies that I'm going to be using, my album that I've picked out. I have some advent calendars that I'd like to share with you. One is stitching related and one is scrapbooking related. So those will start December 1st. So I want to get those filmed and shared with you guys sometime in November. And then December, that first Sunday in December, I want to start my new starts. Start working on my Santascape up on the TV, and so that I won't finish them this year, but at least I can get started. That's what I'm excited about. What else? Just progress along the way. Anything else that I know, Joy with the Carolina Stitchers, she is actually, we were talking yesterday and the day before about she just joined a crochet, is it called a crochet along? Joy, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's crochet along, and it's like a gingerbread themed like crocheted blanket, and she's trying to get me to to start that. I told her there are just so many things that I want to just dip my toes into, and there's not enough time to do it all. But I did promise her that I would look into that, and I may do that as well. But I'm doing December daily and the new start thing too. So I don't know if I'll have time. I hate to bite off more than I can chew, but it sure is fun to try, isn't it? Especially with all the decorating and stuff I do too. So anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Again, look for another video probably early to mid-November. And I will be decorating for Christmas. All the Halloween stuff comes down November 1st. And I will deep clean, and then Christmas starts going up. And so as it's going up, I'll start filming and, you know, just taking lots of footage to, you know, put something together for you guys so you can see what the house looks like, and we'll just go from there. It's fun times. This is an exciting time. It's fun time, even more so than Halloween, and I love Halloween. So I'm looking forward to it. The holidays are just around the corner, and hopefully time will slow down just long enough for all of us to enjoy it. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, take care, you guys. Happy stitching. Talk to you later. Bye.